Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is a Blue Collar Wine Show where my motto is, wine is not a mystery, it is a beverage. And today, we've taken a break, we've given up a few days on the Merlot, but today I'm going away from Washington, I'm going away from California, and we're going to go to Merlot from France, Italy, and Israel. Ought to be interesting. Just to recap a little bit about Merlot, you know, since the movie Sideways in the early 21st century, you know, people kind of, Merlot sales dropped. Also the fact that they made really insipid Merlot from some areas where they probably should not have made it. The varietal went on a huge decline. Well, it's starting to sputter its way out of the canyon, you know, people are starting to buy it, experiment with it. And really, you know, we shouldn't give up on Merlot. It is a great wine. It's used as a blending wine in many ways to give a fullness, a roundness to the wines because it has less tannins. Some of the most expensive Merlot in the world comes from the right bank of Bordeaux. Petrus, Cheval Blanc, all of those have a lot of Merlot in them. They go for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. I believe some of the best Merlot in the world comes from Washington State. And at the better value. You certainly can get some great Merlot from Washington for a fraction of the price of Bordeaux. So that's what we've been talking about over the last few episodes about Merlot. We've taken a break with some other things. I interviewed Chris Premis from San Juan Vineyards just a couple episodes ago. Excited about that. So now we're going to do some Merlots from different areas of the world. Today is episode 23. I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan, so this is my MJ episode, episode 23. So let's get started. Let's give a rinse. The first one we're going to taste is from the Côte d'Aron region of Ardèche. It's a Merlot from that area, south central France. Let's see what we get on the nose. This one rolls in at $9. You get some great values out of that region of France. South Central France, Languedoc, those are all great areas to get great values from. So let's go see what we get on the nose. Little cardboard. There's some alcohol in this baby, for sure. Let's see what we got. 14.5. At least that's what it looks like. Yeah, so there's some alcohol that comes through on the nose. I get some blackberry, a little bit of currant action. Hard to get past the alcohol though, it is there. Let's see what we get on the palate. There's some heat in the kitchen, baby. This has alcohol on it. If you drink a bottle of this, you better get ready to call a cab, because they can wiggle, you know, they can go a percentage. This could be 15.5 in the Zinfandel range. It's got the blackberry, it's got a delicious factor, there's a spicy edge. I get this kind of interesting little bit of somebody rubbed Vaseline on the back of my tongue. There's a little black plum action, for sure. God, I'm splashing all over the place. It's hot. There are some people that are going to like that jamminess it gets from that, but this has some restraint. There's a little bit of leather, kind of earthiness on the backside. Not terrible, just a little hot. Not true to what you would expect out of Merlot. I'm going to give that one a C. For $9, you get an average wine. Save yourself a little money. You know, not a bad play. Some of you are not going to like it if you're leery of high alcohol wines. That falls in that category. So that was I probably should take the step of saying it's a Domaine de Couronne from Ardèche Merlot, the Côte d'Aron region. Let's see the label. Sorry about that, guys. You think I hadn't done this before. There you go, that's the label. $9. I'm giving that wine a C. Let's move on now to, this is Azienda Mercato Asinara Merlot from the Colli Baricchi region of Italy in Tuscany. Colli Baricchi. Let's just go with that. Here's the label. Rolls in at 14 bucks. Remember, I love Merlot from all areas of Italy. They do a nice job. Let's see what we get with this one. "100% Merlot," it says on the back of the label. "100% Merlot, 13.5 alcohol." Sorry, I'm just looking at the label. Colli Baricchi, Italy. So more traditional on the nose. I get a kind of a perfume like herbaceousness. A little bit of blackberry fruit and currants come through. A little black licorice. Like the nose. Very nice. Let's see what we get on the palate. Real spicy, a lot of blackberry. Good balance on this wine. I get a little bit of earthiness coming through. I had to let the cat in, sorry. Got some nice bright cherry fruit. This has some nice depth to it. I get a really rich currant, almost in the Amarone, not quite in the Amarone range on the backside. The bright cherry and blackberry fruit is amazing. Good spice, real fresh tannins. I get a little leather action on the backside. So I get a little currant with a little, just a tiny hit of vegetal thing going on the back end. But nice flow across the palate. This is a big wine. This has a lot of stuff going on. I mean, it's interesting. And then it finishes with this really kind of brightness that really makes it mesh with food in a big time way. I'm thinking this is a great food Merlot. I'm liking it. 14 bucks. I'm going to give it an A-. Good bottle of wine. Italy living up to its reputation on Merlot. On to the next one. So for me, sometimes Italian labels are as hard to read as French labels sometimes. I apologize for that. It kind of caught me off guard. There was so much information on that last label. Here we go. From Tuscany. This is from Filicaja producer, and it's a Merlot called Regina Cristina from Tuscany, Italy, 2006. Did I say the vintage on the last one? The last one was 2009. So this is a 2006. I was in Tuscany in 2006. My boss sent me to Italy, and it was a fantastic year. So let's see what we get. On the nose. Great color on this. 18 US dollars. What other kind of dollars would they be? Since I'm filming from the US, right? By the way, I wonder how many episodes I've let my cat in the door. My cat's name is Minx. She is persistent. Anyway, let me know. I could count, but if you kind of pay attention to those weird kind of things, how many times have I let my cat in the door during one of my episodes? So this is a little more challenge on those. Actually a little more old world. I get some leather, a little bit of, not stinky, but getting close to stinky. There's some currant fruit for sure. A lot of, yeah, currants. Little teeny hit of vanilla. A lot of worn leather. You know, a lot of worn leather on the nose. I like the nose, a little restrained. Let's see what we get on the palate. Very interesting wine. Feels soft. I get this like really like baking spices going on big time. Starts right out, you drink it, these baking spices come to, and they are lingering, baby. That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. A lot of rose petal, leather, currants. Get a nice little serious, like grippy action on the back end. Could be wood tannins, maybe some skin tannins, but it tells you, I'm serious, baby. This is a serious wine. I mean, this has a delicious factor and a world factor, a little earthiness, leather, currants, spice. $18. It's a good bottle of wine. Wow. Got a lot of grip. I mean, this is a youthful wine. It's an 06. I'm telling you, 10 more years. This will soften up even more. With food, this is a beauty. In fact, I'm going to save this bottle. I got some ribs cooking for tonight. I'm having that with the ribs. And I know it is going to be fantastic. I've been giving this baby an A. Regina Cristina Merlot from Tuscany, from the producer Filicaja. There you go. 2 great Merlots from Italy. This one I'm really curious about. Yarden Merlot from Galilee, Israel, 2009, from the Golan Heights Winery. This rolls in, my friends, not shyly, at 32 bucks. Let's give it a rinse. Of course, being on the retail side of it, I'm going to say, okay, how am I going to sell an Israeli Merlot for 32 bucks? Now, for those of you who celebrate Passover, this is a kosher wine. So if you really want to fancy it up, this may be something you look for. Let's see what we get on the nose. Little stink action, currants. Really, really dark and brooding on the nose. I like it. I get a little tobacco action. I feel like I'm getting some heat. Let's see if we can spot the alcohol level. I haven't been really good at that. It always amazes me how hard it is to find the alcohol level sometimes in these, and then it just jumps right out at you. This one, oh, there we go. Yeah, 14.5. So there's a little bit of heat on this. I can get it on the nose. There's a little green tea. Interesting. Little green tea thing going on. Green tea, tobacco, currants, got all that. Not a bad on the nose. You get a little bit of that burn up through the nasal cavity from the alcohol. Let's see what we get on the palate. Well, the alcohol doesn't show up on this one on the palate like it did on the Domaine de Coran. Actually, this one has a nice plush red currant fruit. I like that. I get a little black tea on the mid palate and finish. I mean, loads of currant, spicy. There's a spicy action. This is very full body, goes over the palate, really smooth. This is what you kind of expect out of a Merlot. I do get a little bit of heat on the backside. My tongue's telling me, not, like I said, not nearly as hot as the first one. It's there, but this is one of those kind of Merlots where you go, wow, this is, you know, I don't know if you remember, I did a Jason Stevens, I think, Cellars, and that one was like brown sugar. This does not go brown sugar. This has got good balance, good structure. It's big, but at the same time it has a lot of elements to it. It's got good complexity. It's got a little freshness on the tannins. They're there. I get that nice spiciness on the finish. That's a good bottle of wine. It's $32. Now, for you, those of you who might want to experiment, you know, that might be over your budget. But there's some of us that, you know, don't mind, you know, blowing a little cash every once in a while. Might be a little hard to find. Up here in Washington State, it's distributed by Unique Wines, if that's helpful at all to you. And, you know, if you're, like I said, if you celebrate Passover, this may be one you want to break out for your guests because, you know, it's a special occasion. Yeah, good bottle of wine. I'm going to give it a B+. I'm not going to go in the A category because of the heat. The price, it's a good, I'm going B+, A-. Good bottle of wine. I like it. Thanks for watching my MJ episode number 23. Looking forward to doing a lot more. We have maybe in the near future one more Merlot episode to go, just to look at some Merlots that we, kind of those average Merlots that we see on the shelf all the time. I thought it'd be fun to do one more episode on that. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time out. If you have any comment, please comment. It's always nice. I feel good when people comment. Good, bad, ugly. You know, just lets me know that you're watching, you're paying attention. Subscribe. I know some of you, you know, you go to subscribe, you have to connect to Google or something. You know, take the effort if you feel like it. That way you get notifications that my next episode is coming out. Here's to keeping the snob out of wine. Cheers.